Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Isley, and in my last video I did a rock paper scissors game using Python, and in this one I'm going to be using Python 3.9 with the TKinter library to do a calculator app. So to get right into it, we're going to import our libraries here. We're going to initiate an empty list, and that's just because we're going to be throwing all of our strings in here to create our calculations. And then so for our first function, we have a definition calculator string. It's going to accept a number, and the number is either going to be an operator or an actual number. So we're going to call that list back. We do have one specialty item, and that's the plus minus, and I wanted it to just basically times it by -1 to just make it, if it's a positive number, make it a negative, and then vice versa. We're then going to add that to our calculator list, so .append, turn it into a string before we do it. And then we're going to update the label, the calculation results label, so it'll display it on our calculator. And then for everything else, nothing else had a special rule to it. So we're going to append our calculator list with the number or operator, and then we're going to post it to the screen. For the next function, it's going to be a clear list, and that's just going to clear everything. So it's going to clear the list and then update the label. That way the screen clears right away after you click it. We also have a clear last function, and that's going to first, as with all our functions, we got to call the list first, but it's going to try to calculate. It's going to take that list and pop, so it's going to remove the last item that was entered. And if you were to leave it just like that and update your list, the second you have an empty screen and you try to pop the last item off, it'll throw an error. So we have except. If it throws an error, just make it an empty list and put it to the screen. Next up, we have if the equal button is pressed. So with this one, if you were to say put 3 plus nothing, that would be an error. So that's what our except is down here. If it does throw an error, put error. It's going to post error to the screen, and then it's going to clear the list back out so that when you start typing again, it's a fresh screen. It doesn't say error anymore. So that's why we have list clear here. But up here, it's going to take that list. It's going to join the list, so with no spaces in it, so .join calculator list, and it's going to save it as equation. And then it's going to take that equation, evaluate it, use the eval, so that's going to take the string and use it into a usable equation that the computer can solve through Python. You got to turn it back into a string, put it back into the equation. We cleared our list out because at this point we did our calculations, so we cleared the list, and then we append the list with our answer, and then we're going to post that answer to the screen. So then down here, we're just initiating our calculator TKinter screen with our attributes, the size, what our title wants to be, and then the color of it. And that's what background color equals, and then I just used hex code for the color scheme. Then we have all of our buttons down here with all their associated attributes. The only big difference is that I put a foreground, so my text color, and I just wanted my text color to stand out different, and you'll see that when I pull the app up here shortly. It's then lambda for when you click the button. It's going to update that calculation string with our 0, our period, or decimal point in this case, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No real difference, they're all the same here. The only big thing is you need to have your 7 place you need to have your placement kind of like in my last video. Your placement needs to be separate just so you don't run into errors about it not being able to push the function. And then we have that positive negative one. That was the only one that was really different. We have our 2 buttons for reset and clear. And then if you click it, it's going to either go to the clear list function or the clear last function. We have all of our operators, and it's going to go straight to the calculation list. And then we have our equation, and then this one's just, the only difference is it's going to go to the if the equal button is pressed. We then have our calculation results label, and this is really just a placeholder. That's why there's no text here, and it's just a placeholder for as we start typing things out, it'll start posting it to the screen for us. And then calculator.main just keeps everything running in a main loop. So let's go ahead and go to the calculator here, and I'll show you how it works. There it goes. Alright, so now that the calculator's up, let me just pull it back up. Alright, so as you can see, I have my label box right here, so I've indented it, so that's going to be where our output as we're typing. I changed the color of the background, I changed the color of my buttons, and then I changed the text color using foreground to make them white just to stand out a little better on the dark buttons. And then I left these black on the white button. So let's just do a quick 2 plus 2. So as you can see, we're typing, and it's just updating that list as we keep pressing buttons. If you were to hit clear entry, that's the last entry, we can change it, put a 3. If you were to hit clear all, nothing's there, and then you can hit clear as much as you want, but because we have that exception, it's not going to kick it off the screen when it can't pop that last number off. So 2 plus 2, or 22 plus 3 should be 25, equals 25. You can clear it out, and since it's just one item, we can clear it out using either or. Alright, I actually want that to be a negative number, and we can just hit our plus minus, enter, and now it's a negative. Cleared out. But that's pretty much it for the calculator app. If you have any questions or if there's anything I could have done better, drop it down in the comments below. Would love to read it. Drop a subscribe. My next one is going to be a sign-in form, so it's going to be just using a TKinter entry form, and it's going to save it to an Excel document on your desktop. That way it's more of a usable thing, because you know, rock paper scissors, you know, it's fun. It's a fun app to make. Calculator, everyone has a calculator available to them, but maybe you have a business and you just want a quick, simple sign-in log. That's what I'm going to work on next, and that way it'll be something usable that you can maybe use yourself or show others.